Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Just a Few Things. I'm David Rogers, and this is the show where we talk about just a few of the really good things going on here in New Frontiers Church. Okie doke, it's time for some good in the world, and this week I'm going to provide you with the answer to the question that I know you have been asking for a very long time. Why do wombats, the very cute little marsupial down in Australia, here's a picture, produce cube-shaped waste? Here's a picture of the waste. Yeah, this is an actual thing, and people have actually been wondering how this is possible. And scientists have come up with an answer. Beforehand, there was a couple weird theories that that weren't proven. One of them being that upon exit, the waste would be shaped by the wombat with its little paws. And that is not true. What's really happening is that the cube is being formed within the intestines of the wombat so that it becomes a cube long before it exits the system, which is pretty cool. Scientists have actually found that understanding this process could benefit other fields of study as well, such as clinical pathology and digestive health. So you may have just heard one of the weirdest stories you will ever hear on a Friday morning news show put on by your church, but this story has the potential to do some real good in some really interesting fields of study. So here's to you, wombats. Thanks for being weird and for doing your thing, and thanks to you scientists for understanding how this weird thing wombats do could benefit others. So well done, and this is the end of that story. Okay, it is our weekly report time, and this week I got the chance to talk with Evan Rogers about an upcoming trilogy weekend that we are going to be having at the end of February. And I'm just going to turn it over to myself and Evan Rogers. So go ahead, guys. Awesome. Thank you, David. I am here with another Rogers. I'm here with the Evan Rogers. How's it going, buddy?
Great. Good to be speaking to another Rogers.
Yeah, it's always good in the neighborhood when there's some Rogers around. And Evan, tonight we are going to be talking a little bit about something that's happening at the end of February called a trilogy intensive. And the topic is something that's pretty near and dear to your heart. So can you explain to us what's going to be going on?
Yeah, well, the topic is the theology of worship. So that's what we're going to be discussing and looking at the theology of worship from the point of view as believers and as a community of believers, how it applies to our lives, and really to discover what it is. What is worship, this thing that we talk about and maybe not have such a good understanding of. So yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing.
That sounds really exciting. And I guess my follow-up question to that would be, why is this important? Why is this a topic that we're going to devote an entire weekend to?
Well, I think, worship is key to all our lives. Everyone's a worshiper. So it's important that we understand what it is. And also, I think, the way we view it determines how we do it, I always say. So I think to understand it and grasp it is really key. So, yeah.
All right. Well, if you are at home and you're wondering, should I go? That's your answer right there. I mean, Evan, what would you say to them? You'd say, do it, yeah?
Do it. Come along.
Do it. Hey, and you can do it by signing up on the church website, newfrontierschurch.com. It's you got to scroll down a little bit on the homepage, and there is a square that says Trilogy Leadership Training. But this applies to everybody. This isn't just somebody who is a leader or anything, right, Evan? This weekend applies to everybody.
I mean, I think that will be geared to leaders as to church leaders, but I think definitely geared to congregation as well. So covering all of it, yeah.
Awesome. Well, again, that's at the end of February. Evan, thank you so much for telling us about this, and we look forward to that intensive.
Pleasure.
That's it. That's our ending. Awesome. Again, like I said in that video, you can sign up at newfrontierschurch.com, and on the homepage, if you scroll down a little bit, there's an area that is labeled Trilogy Leadership Opportunities, and that's where you can sign up for Evan's Worship Intensive. Hope to see you there. All right, we don't have anything for testimony time this week. However, I do have a Ian's COVID Challenge participant which is super exciting, and it is another Rogers. Tracy has a skill that she'd like to show us, and let's turn it over to Tracy and see how that turned out.
Okay, ready? What? It's the pressure of being filmed. I can't handle the pressure. Okay, calm down, Tracy. Focus. That's good enough.
Well done, Tracy. Well done. If you also are watching and you have a skill that you have learned during this lockdown period where you've been at home more often, please send us a video or get in touch with us. Email us at hello@newfrontierschurch.com so that we can get you featured on Ian's COVID challenge. Also, if you have any testimonies or you know somebody who has something they'd like to share, please also get in touch with us at hello@newfrontierschurch.com. We want to hear the stories of the people within our church family and to see what God is doing there. It's time for Out There. Out There! Thank you, Michael Arden, the voice of Quasimodo for Hunchback of Notre Dame. I told you I'd get them. He's an old friend. Anyways, we are going to hear from Natalie Baker over in Oman, who has started doing an Alpha course with some of her friends. She's going to tell us a little bit about why Alpha is so beneficial and why it has been impactful over there in Oman. So Natalie, what do you got for us?
Hi church, it's Natalie Baker here in Muscat, Oman, and I wanted to tell you about Alpha. I have been running Alpha from my house for the last 10 weeks with someone from my work and someone from my school, and it has been fantastic. At first I was thinking, oh, Alpha, I've never done it before, I don't know how to lead it, do I really need to do it? But it has been so encouraging for me, a great time to discuss faith. What is it that I believe and why do I believe it? And it's a safe place where everyone who comes can share their own ideas and their own understanding, their own stories. It is safe, it's non-judgmental, it's really brought some interesting conversations, and it has been something that I look forward to every week. I highly recommend it. If you are thinking, oh, maybe not, I would recommend it, and I hope that you enjoy the time and that it's really positive for you.
Awesome. Well, Natalie, it's great to hear what you're doing with Alpha. Hey everyone, if you are watching this, be sure to be praying for these guys. Alpha makes such an impact, and it's so cool to see it working and impacting people over in Oman. We see it impacting people here in the Seacoast with the group Jay and Emily Lawrence are working on. And so be praying for Natalie, especially with these friendships, and let's pray for some fruit and to see some people come to know Jesus. Alrighty, that is going to be it for me. I'm recording this on a Tuesday in the midst of all the snow, so I have to go and shovel. And I hope that everybody else did okay with the storm this week. Before I officially sign off and give our goodbye here, I do want to plug some service opportunities in Portsmouth. We need a hand with projectionists. You may have seen it in your e-news, but if you go to one of the Portsmouth meetings, or maybe you're up in Somersworth and you want to get behind a computer and do some cool projection work, feel free to reach out to somebody. We'd love a hand. It's not that difficult. I'm happy to train you, so is Tracy, but we would love a hand with that. So that's all I wanted to say. Be sure also to sign up for Evan's Worship Intensive at the end of February, and that's it. I'm officially done. Are you ready? Say it with me. Happy weekend, and I will see you all next week when we return with another episode of Just a Few Things. No!